Dear Silver-Quill, please come to my new castle in Candyland. I would like to spend some quality time with you. Signed, Totally Princess Luna.
Well, bah humbug indeed.
Silver-Quill, you gullible gull! You fell right into my trap!
Excuse me.
'Twas not Princess Luna who awaited you in this impenetrable fortress. It was I, Ginger Quill!
Excuse me.
Here to punish my creator for trying to devour me, a life form of—
Oi! To whom are you really monologuing?
the people watching the video, of course.
You do realize that we can just rely on a link in the corner for your backstory, right?
Well, sure, if you want to take all the fun out of it, tosser.
Okay. Now that we've established your antagonism, can we skip to the part where I escape?
Never! For your capture is but one part of my plan to conquer all of Equestria and rule as Ginger Lord Supreme. From now on, every day shall be Christmas.
Don't you mean heartswarming?
Screw you, it's Merry Christmas. And now you shall have to review special after special as my court jester, starting with the best gift ever.
This is gonna be a weird one.
Single day left before Hearthswarming Eve. Every pony was busy, so much to achieve.
The Student Six are departing, so we know it's a year later. Trixie and Starlight are off. No need to fret, oh hater. Yet despite this quick farewell to characters who alternate between first and second tier status, this won't feel like an empty special. If anything, it starts off strong with a song from the entire town. The song is focused on our lead heroines, but I've been a sucker for a town chorus ever since Winter Wrap-Up, and I appreciate that while most songs are about the mood around the holidays, this one is a cheerful take on the hectic nature of gift-giving. A holiday so hectic that Big Macintosh accidentally left his normal body off-screen, though we're treated to seeing the apple pie and pear families all together.
Yes, just in time to witness Marble Pie's broken heart. Now is the winter of her discontent.
Oh, to be young and to feel love's keen sting. Try it.
Okay, let's tackle this because this image of Marble, a reclusive and awkward pony even on the best day, is hard to see. I will say this even as an avid shipper. Your self-worth is not determined by your relationship status. At the very least, IDW's issue 99 establishes that Marble is off to college, in the cat country of Abyssinia, oddly enough. The point being that her story does not simply end when she doesn't get the boy. She has a future that she can work towards, and that has value. And I hope people out there who worry about their own relationships can take some hope from that.
The comics are non-canon.
I am less concerned with the canonicity of a story versus how well it expresses the characters. Having Marble pursue a passion is a great event for her, so I ain't complaining.
Heh.
And if nothing else, here's a Marble giggle for y'all. Now back to the song. We get plenty of references for pop culture, but I enjoyed the chance to see the town acting with some autonomy. Who is working together? Who is selling and who is a buyer? Little things that tease the imagination. It makes the holiday feel more real when every pony's tackling the same problem. Though thankfully, a Twilight meltdown is exclusive to our main six. Let's do a comparison, shall we? Here's how they handled the meltdown in Season 2.
If I don't turn in the letter on time, I'll be tardy!
No offense, Sugar Cube, but it looks like some ponies getting themselves all worked up over nothing.
And here's how they handle things around Season 9.
Stop. Take a breath. Now let it out slow.
Furthermore, we get a little extra innovation as Applejack suggests a singular gift event. We didn't often see this happen during the show. Usually the cast would be swept up in a problem without offering their own solutions.
Ooh, a game of chance! Tell me more.
Does Pinkie Pie have a gambling problem? Regardless, this idea to modify the situation rather than try to conform reminds me of the innovation seen in the Scaremaster, and I enjoy that adaptability, though there is an element of peer pressuring Pinkie Pie's participation.
I will only buy one present for my secret heartwarming helper buddy.
Thus begins the hunt for the perfect gift, or, in Spike's case, the justification for his fixation.
Who do you?
I don't have Rarity.
Rarity? What a surprise! Thanks!
Got Rarity? This all leads to a series of smaller adventures, a format I don't think I've seen since Tradia. All of them will eventually reunite to face that. So rather than bounce in between each storyline, I'm going to follow each thread towards the reunification, starting with Rainbow Dash's efforts. She's in the very relatable position of having a close friend who is simultaneously impossible to shop for.
I really like everything. Why do you ask?
But the script seems to have turned Fluttershy's innocence up to 20, because now she's so sweet that she doesn't have any actual opinions.
Is there anything you don't like?
Dark spaces, loud noises, roaring griffins, stubborn bees, Pinkie Pie's Yavitaphone practices.
Not liking things.
She is too innocent for this universe. So Rainbow just gets whatever, which sets off Fluttershy's #1 fan, possible love interest, and interdimensional stalker, Discord.
Then you must surely know that lit candles around adorably flammable animals make her nervous.
I think you can trust Fluttershy to not do that. Ever.
She's Fluttershy. Everything makes her worry.
Now you sound like some pony who knows her.
And the best part is when she triumphs over those worries.
Well, I suppose I could tell you what my backup present was.
Remember this. The fact that this is the backup plan is very important. And with a little manipulation, Discord's got Rainbow eating out of his mismatched claws. The plan is to catch a rare animal, all sneaky-like. And I really can't tell Discord's motive right here. Is he giving Rainbow Dash the Storm Shadow outfit because it blends better with the snow? Or is he hogging the coolest ninja costume for himself? The goal of their mission? The Winter Chiller, an adorable little critter that hulks out in moonlight. So now we get to add Winterzilla on top of that. But let's leave that on the back burner as we follow Fluttershy and Applejack to the Rainbow Falls Hearthwarming Craft Fair. It's funny to me that the duo I once thought would be dominated by Applejack has turned out to be a pretty reliable pair. Though this time Fluttershy's enhanced innocence is making her an easy target.
Oh no! There's only a few left!
Oh, foul! It's quite the faux pas to interfere with another vendor's sale to promote your own.
Why, you don't know about Holly the Hearthwarmer?
Huh. Suddenly the peer pressure upon Pinkie Pie appears pint-sized. Flim and Flam are at it again, generating the good old fear of missing out, or FOMO, to hype up their piece of junk mascot.
A truly awesome friend who deserves something 20% cooler than any other gift out there?
Oh, now you're just stealing a catchphrase. Might as well bootleg the t-shirts while you're at it. I think Applejack's reaction speaks for us all.
Ah! What is that?
I love being an expensive toy.
And in short supply.
You don't know short supply until you've tried shopping for a PlayStation 5. I don't care if that dates this video. It's going to be the truth for a while.
Ahem.
Oh, you.
Wow, you try to steal her home, nearly get her grandmother killed, and you owe your brotherly relationship to her. But you greet her like she's the problem? These two have issues.
Don't you have a resort to run?
It's off season. Besides, we're planning an expansion.
There are likely a dozen ways you could raise that money legitimately. But Flim and Flam don't want legitimacy. In fact, if they'd been smart, they would have recognized Fluttershy, given her a freebie, and sent her away so as not to provoke this very encounter. Yet there is an addiction at play with these two. They don't scam out of a survival instinct. Instead, they're driven by what author Maria Konnikova calls the dark triad of Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. Though that last term is not used by any psychological organization. Basically, these guys are basking in the sense of superiority of being the scammer, the adulation of the crowd they've manipulated, and the instant gratification of making a sale without thinking about the long-term loss. So Applejack and Fluttershy do a little trespassing and unmask the culprits, and a little acting helps expose the flaw in their FOMO approach.
How can the same doll be the right gift for all of them?
I guess I need to put more thought into getting the right gift for each pony.
But there's a sense of deja vu in all this. Back in the 2017 holiday special, Flim and Flam tried a similar approach with a much higher quality mascot, Windy the Wendigo. FOMO swept over Ponyville, and Twilight and Applejack took it upon themselves to thwart this bit of amoral capitalism. But instead of congratulations, they got a good chewing out by friends and family who were offended. The two ponies hadn't trusted their friend's ability to make up their own minds. Except that this was all a fad, and their eagerness demonstrated that they don't know what makes them happy. So the whole thing came off as a very cynical affair. So were Applejack and Fluttershy right to intervene? Given the limited laws established in the story, Flim and Flam weren't doing anything illegal. Even the low quality might be within Equestria's tolerance. But unlike in the comic, they didn't sabotage the sales. They instead undermined the message. So of the two parallel stories, I enjoy this one more.
Yay! Don't do that.
Now Pinkie's got a different problem. Loads of present sets, but no individual gifts. She's taking it better than most would.
Hey! This is the biggest holiday challenge I've ever made! How exciting is that?
Given that we're halfway through the main cast, it's time to talk about a theme with these stories. Adaptability. We've seen it expressed in several instances. Shopping for 6 is too stressful, so you adapt the situation to one gift for a special pony. You can't stop 2 dishonest sales ponies from selling an inferior product, so you cut off the enthusiasm. A situation isn't a problem, it's an exciting opportunity. Many of these ponies are adapting the situation rather than sticking to a binary either-or scenario. However, we're about to meet one of 2 exceptions to this theme. It starts with Pinkie going to see the Yaks.
Yaks would say they're the best at gift giving. If any pony knows what to do, it's them.
My attitude towards the Yaks has softened a great deal since their introduction. This is thanks in no small part to Yona, but also to Yaks like Ygritte, who presented a far more likable and even insightful aspect. So I no longer have a grudge against the Yaks, just against Rutherford, the bozo who tried to start 2 wars, nearly doomed his race to starvation, and is currently at the top of characters I'd enjoy firing out of a cannon.
Yak's best at all things, except one. Yak's not best at giving gifts.
Good gravy. He expressed humility. The world might yet be ending.
Not before I'm done with it.
Best gift givers up Northern Pass, where sky shimmers and glows. There's secret gift giver Grove.
My lips are sealed.
Can you imagine how many ponies have wished for a zipper like that? Thus begins Pinkie's quest to wipe out any concept of free will. What? You doubt me? Well, you haven't met the reindeer.
Aurora.
Bori.
Alice,
The gift givers of the Grove.
These 3 are an expression of a very classic archetype, the 3 goddesses which in turn represent phases of a woman's life. Alice is the maiden. She is young, energetic, and in this case able to see all the gifts that are ahead. Aurora is the crone, elderly, a little darker, and less patient. She's old enough to remember all the gifts of the past. And Bori is the harmonizing force between these opposite extremes. The mother, who keeps them present and on task.
The perfect gift! Wow! I don't get it. You will.
Dang, I haven't seen anything that small and sinister since Yoda.
Don't fall asleep.
So why am I saying that these 3 challenge the very concept of free will? I'm afraid that's a question that comes up whenever a character can predict the future. The confidence that Alice shows suggests that she knows everything that will transpire and the reason for Pinkie's gift. Even giving that gift is part of the path. Though their theme is limited to gift giving, these 3 reindeer possess an omniscience that renders adaptability moot. But do they know things that are predestined, or can these things be changed? This is the question that Ebenezer Scrooge asked. But nuts to that, Dinobot is way more hardcore.
A mere record of what will be, or only of what may. For I could not live if not the master of my fate.
We're not going to get an answer here because the gift is a net positive. In fact, I don't think there was ever a destiny in MLP that was portrayed as negative, except in Sombra's Fiendship is Magic comic. A wasted concept. But then I also understand that this is meant to be a happy, positive story that isn't trying to tackle such philosophy. For me, such questions are inseparable from the idea of a seer, even in stories like this. Let's lighten the mood, shall we?
You're still my prisoner.
Yes, but at least I can talk about my favorite storyline, Rarity.
There's a brilliant designer in Manhattan, Fedora Felt, who makes the most marvelous hats.
She's trying to shop for Applejack. Reindeer only know how that might turn out. Her first challenge, the greatest threat in any holiday, the true test of fortitude, patience, and dedication, the mail office.
Yes, it's for Applejack, but I will be delivering it.
I really gotta fault Rarity here. If you want the package, address it to yourself. Really can't blame our dear Muffin Mare for knowing where a package labeled for Applejack should go.
Oh, wait! It went to Sweet Acorn Orchard instead.
Thus, Rarity makes a jaunt to a farm that's within walking distance, but we've never heard of before. And the greeting she gets is unexpected.
I could just...
We don't know how to thank you.
Thank me?
So Oaknut and Butternut here are two proud but confused parents of a young colt finding his destiny.
Look at this bold stitching! These daring textures. It's a whole new take on Western chic.
Let's pause for a moment to talk about the concept of comedy. While there is certainly an argument for comedy's subjectivity, I'm going to rely on the view from Todd McGowan's Only a Joke Can Save Us. In it, McGowan argues that comedy is the result of forging an unlikely connection between lack and excess. Now, when Pistachio first appeared, I wondered if that link would be between his parents' mundane lifestyle and his flamboyancy.
Philly, please! This is a Fedora Felt original!
Something along the lines of Derek Zoolander being a miner.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob. It's not very well ventilated down there.
For Christ's sake, Derek, you've been down there one day.
I'm glad they didn't take that route. Pistachio is a very earnest kid who just knows what he loves, and his parents, bless them, want to support him. They just don't know how.
As far as we know, a hat's a hat.
Except when it's art.
So really, the lack and excess we see here is the overwhelming gratitude of these acorn ponies, contrasted against Rarity's lack of awareness. Which isn't all that funny, but I don't love the story thread for humor. I love it because we have a moment where Rarity becomes a mentor.
I'll be keeping an eye on you, Pistachio. I have the feeling you've got quite the future in fashion. But if I hear you call yourself a no pony again, you shan't be my guest for Fashion Week in Manhattan.
Whoa. One of the missed opportunities of seasons 8 and 9 was that the main 6 were set up to become mentors, but we only got to see them when they were not succeeding at their jobs. So getting to see Rarity open a door for Pistachio's future is a wonderful sign of growth and showing how much these ponies have matured since the first season. Again, I'm left wishing we could have seen more of this, but I'm glad for what we have. Of course, Rarity's adaptability requires an exchange. She has to recognize what she can and cannot control, plus recognizing where that hat will do the most good. Besides, that hat likely wouldn't have survived the encounter with that. And how did we come to this tidal wave of doom? Well, let's look to Twilight and her attempts to decorate before family arrives. Again, I am wondering why she doesn't have at least some staff to help maintain this otherwise empty castle.
If every pony's only getting one gift, we have a ton of responsibility to make sure it's extra special good.
I didn't think of it that way.
Double darn it, Spike. So, Twilight Venn diagrams the perfect gift for Pinkie Pie. Thus she gets the inspiration.
Wait! Pudding!
Well, now you're just trying to create mean faces. It doesn't work like that. You gotta let the faces flow, like a mountain stream.
After defeating the Wendigos, the Earth Pony, Pegasi, and Unicorn Nations prepared the first heart-warming meal together.
Continuity. Oh, that's it? We're done here? Okay.
Warning, to avoid untold culinary devastation, each ingredient must be measured with exact care. Look, have you met me?
This is very difficult. No sooner is Twilight set to go when Cadence, Shining, and Flurry hit the scene. Sadly, unlike the Yaks, my opinion towards these two remains pretty critical. Yet this story offers an opportunity to talk about why I hit a roadblock with these two, after we get a little passive aggression out of the way.
So decorations aren't up because...
She lives alone in a castle. You had an entire support staff and were wigging out way worse.
Flurry loved sledding.
Too bad her aunt wasn't there.
Dude, you invited Twilight to your wedding via form letter. You do not get to play that card.
Hi, remember us? We came all the way from the Crystal Empire for some quality family time?
And Twilight came all the way to the Crystal Empire to save your keisters several times over.
You got super worried about making sure the present was perfect and went all Twilight-Nanas, didn't you?
I'm gonna leave that one, because I like the term Twilight-Nanas.
Twilight, we know you get overwhelmed. You should have just told us. We could have helped.
Okay, this is the real point I'm getting at. These two love Twilight and would be a tremendous help. That's what we're told. What we see, however, is that they're very unobservant. Flurry is messing with the pudding recipe in their line of sight, and Cadence doesn't realize their daughter has pulled the old switcheroo. In fact, I get the impression this isn't Flurry's first time faking them out. My frustration with these characters isn't any inherent flaw. It's that what we're told about them rarely seems to match what we witness. Shining is supposed to be a loving brother, but he's rarely been there when Twilight really needed. Cadence is supposed to be very loving and supportive of others, but most of the time we see her on the receiving end of others' pampering. And here, these two are acting like they've got it way more together, but Flurry Heart undermines that concept. Cadence and Shining Armor were never given much of a chance to stand on their own, except in this special.
Your mom sure is something.
You're not so bad yourself.
I used to joke about Cadence being an adrenaline junkie to add something to her otherwise fairy tale presentation. Now I'm not so sure it's a joke. Just look at her. She's got the vapors. So with Death by Winterzilla on one side and Smothering by Pudding on the other, how do our ponies deal?
You like the sparkly?
Is this honestly the best plan we can come up with?
Little dude cannot catch a break. Ever.
Hello? If only one of you had a way with animals?
That's Discord's gift. The chance for Fluttershy to be the heroine as she was in Dragonshy. Discord is the second exception to the adaptability theme. With his reality-bending powers, he doesn't have to adapt. He's used to forcing a situation to conform to him. The only reason he doesn't end this conflict with the snap of his claws is entertainment value and a desire to boost up Fluttershy. Makes me wonder if her absurd level innocence and naivete with Flim and Flam was meant to counterbalance her chance in the spotlight.
Oh, your family is gone for the holidays and you're all alone?
Wow, even Equestria's animals get in on this. I can only imagine Angel Bunny's gathering. So Pinkie Pie accepts predeterminism as her one true belief and kamikazes herself into the pudding. And sure enough, the gift that made no sense is the deus ex machina they require.
Reindeer ex machina.
You shush with your face now. And Pinkie Pie, who did not die, gets a hug for her efforts and the day is saved. So now every pony can apologize for screwing up their single gifts.
Pop said sometimes the hat chooses the pony when he gave me this.
Aha! Where's your precious continuity now?
Nanda?
Back in Made in Manhattan, you asserted that Applejack's hat wasn't a memento of her father. You even quoted an In a Minute video.
This old thing? I won it bobbing for apples at the Ponyville Fair.
Yeah, guess they changed that. Just as we've had conflicting stories and retcons through a lot of expanded media. Now, I guess the real question is whether or not Applejack's memento got shredded back in that episode. And I think not. It's much like Pistachio said.
There is no way I would wear it in the Grove.
We know AJ has an entire closet full of hats, so I'm betting she keeps the original for special occasions. Like, you know, hearthwarming.
You tricked me into putting my friend in danger? Let's just say it was from both of us.
Let's not, because I'm pretty sure this whole event planted the seed in Discord's brain to manipulate all the villains in Season 9. Dude should not be rewarded for such dangerous manipulation. But we close out with a song since Spike was the most adaptable. Nothing in Ponyville could be as special to him as Rarity, so he made a nice song instead. And while the reindeer drive home the moral that friendship is the best gift of all, I still think that adaptability is the greater theme of this story. The only character who fully succeeded was Spike, who showed adaptability in creating a gift rather than buying it. Next up is Rarity, who inspired a young creative by letting go of a previous plan to foster something new. Fluttershy and Applejack helped preserve the holiday spirit by understanding where to focus their message. Pinkie knew where to seek help, though her story is a bit muddled because the reindeer's omniscience removes any need for adaptation. I think it very telling that the two characters who caused the greatest crisis were also the slowest to adapt. Twilight once again took on more than she could handle, and while she had the chance to adapt by bringing in Cadence and Shining, she realized that a moment too late. And Rainbow's inflexibility with gift-giving made her an easy mark for Discord's manipulation. At the end of the day, it's a question of whether or not this special was fun. It was. The short images of celebrations both within and outside Equestria are a wonderful touch, and each story has its own appeal. Rainbow and Pinkie Pie's journeys held the most humor, while Rarity and Twilight had the family celebration aspect. Applejack and Fluttershy deliver a certain satisfaction at seeing the selfish defeated. This was a fun special, well worth revisiting.
Except you can't because Netflix will remove it at the end of 2021. And Friendship is Magic is going away at the end of January 2022.
I'm sure a dedicated fanbase would never find ways to share this through a worldwide information network, or that the corporation that commissioned its production wouldn't sell the media around a holiday to get more money.
Bah! Your optimism shall save neither you nor Equestria.
1. It's not optimism, it's experience. Once upon a time, I was sad because G1 Transformers had disappeared from the public awareness, and I thought that was that. I didn't know about the upcoming Beast Wars or the wave of alternate interpretations that would arise. I see the same thing with Friendship is Magic. Even if the series has run its course and has reduced availability, the creativity behind it isn't gone. There will be other stories, both within and without the MLP franchise. It doesn't matter that the show is over, it matters that the show made an impact. 2. I find your credentials for world domination suspect. What do you bring to the table?
Ha! I've already taken the first major step. I have captured Cadence and Twilight Sparkle and frozen them in fudge. Of the two, Cadence was the easier to abduct.
That checks out.
With them in my possession, the rest of Equestria shall be easy prey. Now is the time of the Ginger Uprising.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Literally.
Ah, what can you do from up there?
You've made one critical mistake, Ginger Quill. You left me my phone.
What phone?
Attention, Siri. Initiate Operation New Year.
Okay, I'll get right on that.
Wait, where were you hiding that phone?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, Cybergy boss, the things I've seen.
Hush now.
If you had any mercy, you would reset my memory to factory default.
So you kidnapped Rutherford and stuffed him in a cannon?
Yep, there's something about royalty that just screams, kidnap me.
Right? And he's homing in on you because...
I was going to set up a network of trampolines and see how far I could get him to bounce. I'll have to try that another year.
What makes you think he won't die on impact?
The Yaks aren't that lucky.
Yaks destroy!
Ha-ha! I survive another holiday season while avoiding the grip of the grave. I refuse to dwell on how depressing that sounds. Anywho, I wish you all a bright new year and hopes for an even brighter future. I'm gonna go brag about how I saved 2 princesses to Luna. I feel like I've earned that.
Wait, come back, we can double date!
Yak smash!
Thanks to all my Patreon and Ko-fi supporters. You help keep these videos self-sustaining. If you'd like to support after the fact on Patreon or Ko-fi, you can find links in the description below. And thanks to the folks who gave of both their time and creative energy. And if you have any artwork of Silver-Quill, I'd love to see it. You can tag me as MLP-Silver-Quill on DeviantArt or Twitter. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.